INPS or INPS is your social security payment, is the mandatory public system that finances pension system in Italy. So you are required to pay social security if you are employed, if you are self-employed or a sole proprietor, if you are a partner in a partnership, or if you are a managing director of a corporation. So everybody has to pay social security. There are some exemptions. For instance, I myself a tax accountant, or basically if you are chartered in any accounting body, doctors, engineers, architects, lawyers, they pay their own different social security. All the rest has to pay INPS. So it's very important to know how much do you pay and how this system works. So first of all, if you are employed, well, you can notice the deduction in your payslip. So the overall burden is 27.57%, and 2/3 is on your employer and 1/3 is on you. So your gross remuneration is different from RAL, the RAL. So the RAL also includes your social security payments. And then your gross remuneration is RAL net of the 9.19%. And with a staggering 27.57%, you can easily understand why the gross remuneration in Italy, the cost of labor, is quite high. So the second category is artisan and commerce. So if you're an artisan or if you operate in commerce, you have a fixed and flat contribution. So the fixed contribution means that regardless of the money you make, you have to pay 3,600 euros to the system. And this is the minimum contribution up to 15,000 euros of income, regardless of the fact that you make it. So if you start an e-commerce and you make 0 euros, you have to pay 3,600 towards social security. Now, what's the pros of that? Well, since you pay the minimum contribution, whenever you have retiring age, this accounts towards your payment. If you do not make that money and you don't have fixed payments, your basically pension will be lower. Now, from 15,000 up to 105,000, which is the amount at which INPS is capped, you pay 24% fixed. So it's flat plus a contingent contribution. Then you have the Gestione Separata. Gestione Separata is for freelancers, anyone who is not in artisan activities or commerce. They pay 25.72% flat, which means that if they make 0 money, they pay 0 INPS. There's no minimum fixed contribution. And the same things applies to occasional workers. If you perform occasional income above 5,000 euros, you're required to register at INPS and pay a staggering 33.34%, which honestly, it's crazy. And in the artisan and commerce category, I forgot to mention that there's a particular category which is holiday-let rentals. So that category is included in commerce, but they only pay the variable 24.09 contribution, which makes them very similar to Gestione Separata, because if they make 0 money, they pay 0 INPS. The only good news about that is that your social security is a tax-deductible items against income, which basically says if you pay INPS, you will save taxes because it reduces your gross income to your net income. So imagine you are at 43% rate, then if you pay 5,000 euros, you save 43% of that, because otherwise you were required to pay taxes. And finally, you're also required to be into the commerce activity if you are a partner in a partnership. In that case, you have to pay fixed contribution plus the variable 24% based on the income made on the partnership. And if you are a managing director of a private company, of a corporation, you are required to pay the fixed 3,600 contribution. And only if you receive a salary, then you're required to pay the additional rates. Now, it's very important for you to understand, especially if you work abroad, how does the social security system work around Europe. So remember, you have the totalization system, and we'll talk about that in a different video.